On May 14th, starting at midnight, the circadian flycatchers are going to be birding for 24 hours straight, covering the entire state of New Jersey. It's safe to say this is going to be the most intense World Series of birding yet. The current date is, let's see, what date? It is currently May 12th, and this is the last time that I'm going to be home until May 15th. So right now I am leaving for Sussex. I'm going to be scouting a few spots on the way up. There's 2 spots that were already scouted, but I'm just going to take a quick look back at these places to make sure that the stuff is still there. I'm going to scout out the Bonaparte skulls that I got yesterday, and then the spot where I had the ducks, that marshy area that I was at on my first kind of full day of scouting. And then my last spot is going to be a spot for cliff swallows. And yeah, so that's going to be the spots that I'm going to be scouting on the way up. Tonight, I'm going to meet up. This is going to be the first time all week that the entire World Series team is going to be together. I'm coming up from my house. Jonathan and Scotty are still up north, and then Aaron and Josie are coming all the way up from Cape May, where they've been scouting, because tomorrow we're going to be doing a dry run. So basically what that is we're going to be starting at 2 in the morning, and we're going to be basically pretending we're birding on the World Series, but all the night stops. And I think we're only going to go up until 10 o'clock, and then we're going to stop. We're not going till even till lunchtime, really. We're just going to be kind of getting a feel for the area, getting the team together, and just kind of making sure that everything goes well so that on the big day, everything's all set. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Then on Saturday, it's the big day. It's for 24 hours starting at midnight to midnight. We're going to be burning nonstop. This is going to be really intense. We're going to be literally running to every single one of our stops, and it's just going to be crazy. So I'm sorry. I know this is definitely not going to be the most well done or the most cinematic video series I've ever filmed, but I just kind of wanted to bring you guys along and kind of show you all the planning and preparation that goes into the World Series. I just wanted to show, kind of share what we're kind of finding along the way, how it's going, and show just how much has to go into doing full state World Series. So that's what we're doing, but now we're leaving, and we're not going to be home until we hopefully do well in the World Series. Let's go! Bonaparte skulls! Still here. Still chilling. Oh yeah, let's go. Sprinted out to here. Bonaparte is still here. Tide's much higher. A little bit of a different spot, but if they're right here on the big day, it's so good, because then we don't have to go all the way out there, which is where I got them yesterday. Just chilling out here. We're good. And now I'm just heading back to the car. Let's sprint back. We're practicing for the World Series. All right, on to the next spot. So we're out here now trying to look for ruddy ducks and shovelers right in the parking lot. Basically right from the parking lot, I got shoveler and gavel, so that's good. If they stick close, it'd be perfect. Swamp right there, it's not moving. There we go. This is right in here was where the ruddies were. Whoa, what the hell? There's giant carp or something here that keep jumping. Oh, was it him? I don't think it was him. I think that was a fish because it was under here. This isn't looking good. I'm not seeing any ruddies. I at least hope that the shovelers and the gadwalls stay right near that first parking lot. Bugs. Because if they stay there, that's an easy get. We do have another ruddy spot that I found yesterday down south at some random little pond. But, I mean, if we could get them here, that'd definitely be a lot easier and would save us a trip there. Got mallards. Gadwall shovelers. Not seeing ruddies. So that was kind of good, kind of a bust. Went all around. There's some shovelers and gadwalls real close, but was not able to find a single ruddy anywhere. Even sprinted out to the back side of this marsh and nothing. And I didn't really see the bufflehead that I had here the other day. Now, Scotty and Jonathan had the bufflehead here. And maybe now I will say I didn't have my scope. But I was scanning out there for a while, and even though I might not have necessarily been able to like definitively tell if it was a bufflehead, I would have seen something diving, and I didn't see anything diving out there. So that's not really looking good. And all the white crowned sparrows that they had the other day, I looked all around and did not find a single one. So, I mean, I guess, they were definitely migrants and just kind of passed through. There were a lot of white-throated sparrows, but no white crowned sparrows. So, yeah, kind of unfortunate. Now our next spot is kind of out of the way, but on the way up, spot where there's nesting cliff swallows. They were originally going to go to one location, but it was some spot that was kind of out of the way, and the time when we would have been there, we think it would be better off if we were elsewhere. So we're going to scout this spot, and then we're heading up to Sussex, to the Sussex motel or something, and then I'm going to be meeting up with the team. So that's what's going on. I feel like, I'm sorry that the video, even though this is scouting and it's not like the full day of World Series, the way that we're scouting is basically like the past 2 years of how I did World Series, and maybe even a little bit more intense than that. Like, it's not really that laid back. We're kind of rushing around, practicing, like sprinting around to different spots, seeing how long it'll take, and really just kind of focusing on getting our target birds at this location. Turn right onto so that's kind of what's going on. That's why I'm not really, filming a lot. And then of course, there is no way I can film the big day. I will talk about it. I will definitely let you guys know how it goes, but I cannot film that. I can barely film the scouting, and the big day is going to be like 100 times more intense than this scouting, even though this scouting is honestly pretty intense, at least for me. But next stop, hopefully some cliff swallows. So out here, this is our last scouting stop of the day, and then we're heading straight up to Sussex. I'm gonna stop and get some food on the way up. Sussex is still an hour from here, but we're trying to find some cliff swallows, so let's see if we can find them. They should be, if they're here, they're gonna be under this bridge, because that's where cliff swallows nest, is under bridges, in barns, all kinds of weird areas. This lake looks nice though, like it's a really cool looking lake. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, people. I'm not seeing any cliff swallows. Really sucks about the cliff swallows. Really bad that they're not there. Went, just picked up a coconut bowl. Then gonna head up to Sussex. By the time I get up there, everyone's probably gonna be asleep. The whole team is up there with the exception of me right now, and they're working on planning the route. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not a totally bad thing, but I feel like I found a lot more spots that like are not worth going to than spots that are actually worth going to. But that's just how it goes. You know, with World Series and stuff and scouting. Sometimes you find good spots, and sometimes you don't. Breakfast is what it is. So for this section of the video, the mic was kind of malfunctioning once again, and I don't have any audio, which is kind of a shame because it was actually kind of funny right when we got there. When my mom and I got here, we heard all these weird noises, and we didn't know what it was, and it turned to be this cat that I don't know if it lived, like if it was somebody's pet, or if it was just some sort of random cat, but it was making all these noises, and it was funny, and just like getting to the motel and walking in and everything. And then I was trying to listen to see if anybody else from the team was still up, because as you can see, it was pretty dark out and I got there pretty late, and I wasn't sure if there was anybody still up, and I don't really think anybody was. So this is just getting to the motel, getting situated, and everything like that. And unfortunately the mic wasn't working. And for a while, I thought that I just didn't know how to use the mic quite right. And there were a few times when I forgot to turn the mic on. But some of the other times, I did remember to turn the mic on. And it was making weird crackling noises. And it just, sometimes it would record audio, sometimes it wouldn't. Wound up sending the mic in, and they wound up sending me a whole new one. But as it turns out, the mic actually did have some issues. So anyway, this is us getting situated. I don't really remember all that I was saying, but I know that I got there, and then I was getting ready for the dry run, which was going to be in a few hours, so I went to bed and then got ready for that. Right now, the current time is 4:21. It's time to go to bed because I'm going to be up at 9:50 to get ready to start birding at midnight, and then we're going to go for a full 24 hours. The dry run went really well. I want to talk about that more because some really exciting things happened, and it was actually fun. But tomorrow's going to be a struggle because we're going to run sprinting, and although I run, I'm not used to like full-on sprinting, so it's going to be a struggle, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it, and I just hope we do well. Scouting's been a struggle, but the dry run went well, and I hope the whole route goes well tomorrow. So anyway, it's time to go to bed and then be up at 9:50. So it is now a little bit of time after the World Series, but I just wanted to go through the dry run a little bit and talk a little bit about that, because the dry run actually wound up being really fun. So that was the first time all week that the whole World Series team was together, and we started off, if I remember correctly, right around like 2 o'clock. We got out birding, and we started going to some various marshes and just all different areas for night birding. We were able to get barred owl, soar, common gallinule, and all different kind of stuff like that. And then from there, after we did a lot of night birding, we started off birding some various grasslands, a lot of the spots that Scotty and Jonathan had been scouting all week, and some of the spots that I had actually already been to when I was up there scouting with them earlier in the week. We were able to get grasshopper sparrow and just some various stuff like that, and like, you know, all kinds of stuff that they had worked hard to pin down. And then from there, we went to a spot for ruffed grouse. And at the ruffed grouse spot, this was like the first spot where we really got a taste of how much running was going to be involved for this World Series, because it was a long run to the spot. And in fact, actually by the time we got to the spot where the ruffed grouse drums every morning, by the time we got there, when the ruffed grouse first started drumming, I actually thought it was my heart, like just like your heart like thumping, because it's such a deep call that you can almost like kind of feel it. that it was just kind of crazy, but you know, it like picked up, and you know, after you hear it for a minute, you realize that it's ruffed grouse. It's not just like your heart beating. But that was really cool. And then from there, we hit a whole bunch of different spots, like driving along the road. We were all hanging out the windows and the doors and out the sunroof and everything, trying to get all different breeding warblers and migrants and all kinds of stuff. And around this time, we actually had a run-in with one of our rival teams, the Princeton team. And they were out scouting, and they were chasing us down for a little bit. And we saw them driving around some roads, also doing some dry runs and scouting and stuff. And then at this other spot, we actually came across my photography mentor, Ray Hennessy, who was out with a client doing some warbler photography up there. So that was really cool to run into him. We didn't really have much time to like say hi or anything because we were just kind of zooming past. But that was cool to kind of say hi to him. And then I'm trying to think, but after that, then we were looking for, I think, some of our hawk nests and like broadwing hawk. We went looking for common mergansers and some various stuff like that. And then I think we ended out at some more grasslands where we got stuff like orchard oriole, bobolink, meadowlark, bluebird, and some basic stuff like that. I think altogether, just from birding, I think it was like from like 2 a.m. to, I want to say, I don't think it was quite 12 p.m. I don't even know if it was 11 a.m. It may have been a little bit less, but somewhere in that range, I think we wound up getting like 117 species, which for just that amount of time and for a dry run was really incredible, especially considering that the migration was really not all that good, and a lot of the stuff that we got was breeders or by chance a few migrants. So that was just kind of how that went, and just kind of gave us a little taste of what the World Series of Birding was going to be like. So I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit because it was actually really cool.